Oh, you're live.
Yay.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Soul, Light, and Body. It's such a pleasure to be here because you know why? We are alive, we are well. Even so, if you're struggling and going through whatever situation, just be grateful. Just be grateful because you're still here. Be gentle with yourself. What are your self talks? When you look in the mirror every day, what are your self talks? What are you telling yourself? It's time that you change those self talks. Celebrate your small wins. Celebrate your small wins. It's amazing that we could celebrate the big wins, but look at the small things that we have achieved so far. Let's celebrate them. Write yourself a letter of forgiveness. If there is something in your life that you're struggling with, it's time that you write yourself a forgiveness letter so you could start a process of healing. You know, we tend to forget that there are things that we can do to help ourselves, and we are just here to remind you that you can help yourself, and you could take that step and start to do these small things that could help yourself. Are you journaling? Are you finding the time each morning to write down three things that you're grateful for? It's time we all do that. Let that be your morning practice, one of your morning practices. Find the time to sit when you get up. Don't reach for that cell phone. Don't reach for that computer. Don't reach for that iPad. Find the time to sit in silence with yourself and be grateful and write at least three things down that you're grateful for. We tend to be on the go, 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 and not finding the time to sit in silence and be grateful. Gratitude. It is very important because when we do that, we are able to start our day recharged. And whatever comes up during the day, we could always reflect back to the things we write in our journal and be grateful for that day. Because all experiences that we go through, they are only here to help us to get strength because the strength is within us. And the experiences and the situations that we go through, treated with love and compassion because they all help us to grow, to evolve into a beautiful light. So let's check in with ourselves today. Start by checking in. It's so, so important. I'm Karen Pascal, Holistic Health and Wellness Coach and co-author of Two Ebooks with my sister, Joan Williams. And I just want to welcome Joan back to the show because she took some self-care time for herself. And I just want to welcome her back. And she's here once again with us and to help me to continue the show with her light. And we got a big guest this morning, Eny Osung. He is here to help us to understand achieving your greatness. I'm excited because I want to know what tools he's going to give to us this morning. So just sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, your green juice, a glass of water, put some lemon inside, and just sit back, get your notepad, and just enjoy this 1 hour with us and take some notes because Eny is here to give us some real good, juicy notes. So take some notes that could help you on your journey. I'll now hand you over to Miss Joan Williams. Joan?
Hi, thank you, Karen. It's great to be back. What an amazing day. So thanks to everyone. Welcome to the audience. and our amazing guest, Annie, who will really pour and enlighten us as we travel life journey, whether it's small businesses or whatever it is. He's going to able to help us and guide us through this process. I want to ask you this morning one question. How are you living your life? And what are you using or putting in front of you as the centerpiece for you as an individual? What are your I ams? What are you paying most attention to that guide you through the journey? And what is your main purpose for being here? Have you found your purpose and your passion? Is I have a phrase together, Karen and I, which says, when you find your purpose and your passion emerge, it ignites and it becomes magical because when you found that thing, you're excited. I took some time away for self care which I'll share with you more later in other broadcasts and stuff like that. But I say that to say this that taking some time for yourself is really essential and it's very meaningful so that we keep our cups because we give all the time. And when we give that we people not people really, whatever we do, it draws from us. We're giving all the time for us to stay strong in our true essential self and that essential purpose, the reason why we're here and do what we do, we really need to keep that cup filled. So I took some time and I've really drawn into that time that I took new perspective, I've gained new insights and understand that also what I understand spiritually is that which I knew before, but there is something bigger outside of us as an individual, whether you want to call it God, source, whatever it is. There is something bigger than us that we can draw from that empower us all the time and help us to do what we do every day. And it's special. It's really special because when we can have incorporate that spirituality in our lives, it become amazing. We touch lives every day in different ways. Show yourself compassion, show yourself love. It's very essential. I found that out. I used to say before on other broadcasts, but I really found that aspect, just taking that time to find and found that compassion and love. And moreover, grace. Grace. Show yourself grace. And then set some intentions so we can all walk with integrity every day. My name is Joan Williams, holistic health and wellness coach, and as Karen previously mentioned, author of two ebooks and the digital magazine, also the print. And what those magazines are doing is that we are trying to also share off of the show. You can get that, which help you healthy as well. You get great recipes. And as Karen mentioned, that one client sent to her because they received the magazine and they were able to make one recipe in that magazine. Right, Karen?
Yeah, with their son, and it's great to hear something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's amazing. So sign up for our magazines or get in touch with us so we can, if you're living in the US, we can mail you a copy. And if you're out of the US, we can digitally send it to you. So I'm happy to be here and it's amazing morning and amazing day wherever you are. And our lovely guest, which we are so honored to have today with us, is Mr. Eny. And he's so amazing because he is changing lives. He's creating that impact. He's doing so many things, helping small business to find their footings. Also, he's also an acclimated podcasting, where he also has is a founder of his company, Global.Media, and then he has an interesting story because born in London and then spent some time in Nigeria with his grandparents and stuff, which we're going to just allow him and give him that privilege to tell us all about that, how he came to get his degree in university in London and so, all of that. So Mr. Eny, we turn the floor over to you and just give us all the goods. What make you who you are at this point in time to lead you us to you at this point, this minute here.
thank you so much. I mean that sincerely. A lot of people don't realize I'm quite shy, really deep down. But I happily talk. Once I start talking, I don't stop talking. I just hope I make sense today. That's my aim, just to try and sound sensible and try and be useful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a privilege to be on your show. From when I first saw you, I thought, "Oh, I want to be on that," and I thought, I got nothing to say. I got nothing to say, so it's not going to happen. I think well, we mentioned it in passing at one time. I think we mentioned it in passing a long time ago, a few weeks ago. I thought I saw in a message, "Do you want to be on our show?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah," and then it was like, I got nothing to say. Because I don't do the healing. I don't do anything I think is healing. Deep
Mm-hmm.
down, I'm a marketer. I'm a businessman, really.
Right, right, right.
That's why I see myself. I guess I've come to appreciate that I do I do other things almost accidentally. If that makes sense. I don't intention.
Mm-hmm.
So most of your guests, they've written a book already. They've got a theory, right? The theory guides what they do.
Right, right.
Whereas for me, I do, and I try and find a theory for it. That's my reality, really. That's I
Mm-hmm.
guess I live a certain way, and I try and share that with people. And then suddenly I suddenly found out a few years, no, last year, probably in the last year and 6 months, that there's a theory to it. Which is it's a weird thing. It's an amazing thing to happen. Positivity,
Yeah.
and I never knew it was a thing. Mindset, I never knew it was a thing. I just
Mm-hmm.
thought, I live in my
Right.
little, my happy head. I'm a happy-go-lucky sort of person, and then
Yeah.
suddenly I'm like,
Yeah. Yes.
positivity is a thing, really? Mindset, okay, mindset means
Yeah.
something. Attitude actually means something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to fit all those things together into a coherent story. That's why every so often I will struggle. But forgive me if I do. Just bring me back a bit to where I should be. I try and
Mm-hmm.
explain my crazy thinking as I go along. In terms of background, I
No,
guess I was born in the UK to a pair of high achieving parents, and both my parents are doctors. Dad was a surgeon. My mum runs Nestle, one of no Nestle, the big food company. So she's one of the top managers. So they had no time for kids when we were born. And then
right.
the neighbors heard us crying and decided, okay, something must be done. Lucky for us, my sister and I, she was one, I was a baby. Next thing you know, we're shipped off to Nigeria to our grandparents. And then, so that's where we grew up, really. So that's where most of my influences come from. And
Right.
then from there, I guess we came back to I came back to UK 13, 14, to a whole different world, a whole different world. Compared to Nigeria. But then I guess I dreamt of going back to UK from the beginning. I just knew I was going to go somewhere else because I was British. Again, that affects how that played a part in how I saw the world. So when we came back here, I guess then you soon realize there's only one way to live life. I'm not saying I've done everything. I've done many things wrong. Of course, I've done many things wrong. I've had to learn some things the hard way. But the experiences I've had
Mm-hmm.
where I've grown up, the family background I've had from growing up with granddad's family, with granddad and my uncles and aunties, has affected a lot of who I am and what I am today. So I'll try and share that with you. Hopefully, it'll come out in the conversation. So now I run a marketing agency. I try to inspire and support people as best I can. I've got another business, a property business, but I never talk about that unless I just mention it. Then again, these are all parts of the picture, really, of why I live this happy bubble in my little head. You know, I could talk on.
It's
You
so
know,
beautiful.
Yeah. So,
It's
well,
beautiful.
You know, listening to you and what you said in the initial stage of the conversation, you said that pertaining to healing, right? And you said that you feel as though
Mhm.
you don't really fit into that bracket. But I'm gonna tell you this now. Whatever you have to say, it's healing. Because someone may be struggling with
Yeah,
their business, and whatever you have to say to
yeah.
them, it's healing. So that's a part of healing. It would help them on their journey to understand that
Mhm.
whatever struggles that they're going through with their business, you could offer them support with your words, and your words is
Mhm.
healing. So that's a part of healing and
Right.
helping someone. That's a part of healing. Yeah, it is.
Right.
and I
It, it
understand that
certainly
now.
is, and yeah.
You know, so I understand that now. Like I say, it's a fact that I haven't got
Mhm.
a theory necessarily to start. Because
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't approach life from that side. I approach life more from, you know, I guess my greatness and my joy. I live a strange life of bliss. And that's where I start from.
Yeah.
And a lot of that bliss comes
Yeah.
from, all the things you mentioned so far, being intentional, number one, being,
Mhm.
being grateful, and living to help
Yeah.
other people. So I'm lucky that I've got a
Mhm.
business where I can help people. And part of helping people is living my true joy.
Right.
That is such a weird, it's a
Yeah.
weird thing to say, but that's just how my life is. I live in genuine happiness pretty much 24/7, 365. And I'm nearly 50.
Right.
And so obviously each day that passes, I think this is just too wonderful. But it's what it is. And then I just
Yes.
share that with other
Yes.
people.
Yes.
It so happens that many people get inspired, for which I am. I guess it's a
Mhm.
privilege again to play a role in anyone's life. But I guess it's never my intention really. I'm just doing what I do. So that's why I don't tend to embrace it as much as it's not. I embrace it. It's not that I don't embrace it. That's why I don't lead with it. I lead with my skills more
Mhm.
than my empathy, more than my
Right. Right.
way of thinking. If that makes sense. You know,
It
it's
does make sense, and I think it's
Good.
so beautiful because and people can feel that. People can feel that. We have listened to a lot of your audio rooms that you present and you speak about with Zion and there's the other colleagues, and it's truly amazing what normally happens and the things that you share. And you always, some things you always say is that you treat your customers like family.
hmm, hmm, again, it's the reason why I exist. Some will tell you I'm wrong half the time, but I look at them and just shake my head. So someone said to me recently,
Mhm.
"You are your customer's dream." I'm like, yeah, because it's I guess it's a thing
Yeah.
to expect a random person you never met and don't know from anyone else to trust you enough, one, to give you their time, to actually give you a chance to say what you do,
Mhm.
and two, to actually trust you enough to say, okay,
Mhm.
here's my money, here's my dreams. Because their business is their dreams, is a route to their greatness, ultimately. Again, if
Right.
the business works, everything that I believe in life works after that. And if the business works, it means they're helping people, helping the target audience, the people that you care about.
Right.
When that happens, they get the joy of helping people. With that joy comes money, and they can help more people.
Mhm.
And then people they help and can help other people.
Right.
See how this
Right.
works?
Ripple
It's like a
effect.
snowball effect,
Yeah.
a ripple effect you call it. It really
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
So that's, I guess, where everything starts for me. And it's a good, it's a great thing to have that privilege. It really is. And for that privilege,
Yes, it is.
I guess, I also believe, whilst many things are in your mind, I guess, let me just try that again. My message today is this: dare to dream, dare to do.
Yes.
That's how I live my life. Dare to dream, dare to do.
Dare to do.
When you do, when you dream and you do, great things happen. Magic happens.
Yeah,
That's is where that's
I
my
love
motto.
that.
That's what I live by every day. So I don't mind
Yeah,
working 24/7. I really don't mind working because I like working. It's not really work. It's just doing. I love to do, and I love to,
mhm,
I love to get. I love to say convert that stranger into a customer. That's is it. It's the hardest thing to do. And if you think about it, it's the strangest thing to do. You can, because someone's minding their own business wherever, LinkedIn, to Facebook, wherever they are, they're minding their own business. They suddenly they see us being me and my customer, and they're like, "Oh, they can help me. That's an achievement." You know.
Right.
Oh, I'll happily pay them whatever it is to I had one yesterday, and the joy it gives me is just is indescribable.
Yeah.
yeah,
So the one that happened yesterday, I got a customer who came to me last week. He does luxury extensions, loft conversions. Okay, all right, Daryl. Okay, I'll work with you. All I want is I want to be seen on social media. I'm like, I can do that for you. That's easy. I don't want customers. I'm like, that's how you think, So, but anyway, just show what I'm doing. A week later, I got a message yesterday. Someone saying, can you come and do a quote for my extension, please? Right, that has me running. I dance around my room because that is amazing. I think
Yes.
a loft extension is not a couple of hundred. It's thousands, literally thousands.
mhm,
To achieve that is what gives me the joy of doing what I do, and for that I will do
yeah,
whatever it takes to achieve that day after day. To the extent that I don't even think I work. My wife doesn't think I work. I'm having too much fun.
mhm,
Yeah.
I'm doing what I so love doing that it doesn't feel like work at all. I'm not saying, no, it's not. It's hard. Of course, it's
Yeah.
hard work, but it doesn't feel like it. It's
right,
all part of my
right.
joy. It's a weird thing. It's so strange.
Yes. Absolutely.
But to say that and to say this is that speaks volumes of who you are because your intentions are pure. There is no hidden agenda. What they see is what they get. The love of what you do, you bring to the service, and you serve your customer well. And that's why they appreciate they love what you bring into them. And it's very authentic.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah,
We give you your
I can't think of any other way of doing it. You with me? That's my problem. I say it's not a problem. That's my reality. Because you know I'm helping people. I'm also helping myself more than anything else. You know, I'm I'm living my days the way I
right.
want to live them. Number one, and two, loving your customers. It sounds like a simple thing, but if you love your customers genuinely, they will know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people miss that in business. That's the essence of getting customers, really. So I remember when I started the business in 2015, and I got myself a coach after about 9 months. And first thing he said to me was, if you've got a holy bucket, if you've got holes in your bucket, you can never fill up that bucket ever.
Sure.
So you can get as many customers as you like on top. If they're all leaking out the bottom, then it's never going to be full. You're never going to make money. That's when I learned really what it meant to love your customers. If you love your customers
Right.
genuinely and do whatever it takes for them, that's why I don't talk about my customers. That's why because we in it's them. I'm them online essentially,
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
see things the way they see it. Those customers never leave you. Even when they do leave, which they do. Don't get me wrong, churn is part of the business. They always come back. They'll all come back. Almost all of them. It means I don't have to work too hard to get customers. And I can live in this perpetual happiness, knowing that if one goes, and much like rain follows sunshine, and it will carry on. If one goes, one comes. If one goes, one comes. It always happens. When a customer goes, I literally celebrate because there's a reason why they're gone. But it opens space for another one to come back, and they always do. Another customer comes, suddenly takes up the space. It's almost like the universe knows where I am. They know I can't do everything all at once for everyone. So if I lose one, I always gain one. It's a lot of people don't believe that logic, but it's true. It really is true.
It is true. It is true. I'm glad you point that out because it's a mindset. It's a mindset that you have that you don't really worry about it. Oh, I'm losing business. But you understand the game, you understand reality, you understand how the laws work. And when one goes, as you rightly said, it's a reason. And that's okay. And once you can understand that, that's the essence of everything. Because you understand that there's not a one to walk through the door for me to help them and help them through whatever the needs are. So that's amazing, Karen.
Yes, and when one go, it's I would say a feather in your cap because you have done a great job. That person could step out now and spread their wings and fly, right? So it's a feather in your cap that person have grown and they feel as though now now I could take my step on my own and I could fly. And why I can fly is because of Eny. He had given me the wings that I could fly now. So I that way, I give me the wings to fly.
For many it's like that. I guess in reality, in business, people go for whatever reason. They really do. They go for any sort of reason. Some change, some can't afford to pay. Something like something things happen to them, and but the essence is that they're better off after working with me than they were before.
Yes.
Even if that is in their thinking, and even if that's in their outlook, saying if I can leave them with the idea that you really can change the world, you really can, you really can, really, 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 we all can. If I can leave them with that idea, and then they begin to see what the work looks like. Is that designing a different service, a better service, serving your customers better. Once at least they've gained something. My version of loving your clients is real. And if they take that away from me, I'll happily say, okay, by all means, I wave you off. But if you ever have to come back, please do. All of this, it all revolves around that daring to dream and then doing. Not doing is what kills people in these days. It's what kills the business. We have to be prepared to do. Take massive action. To achieve success, you have to take humongous action. Nothing was ever achieved by doing nothing. You can't achieve anything by just thinking. You have to genuinely move yourself and move the world. That's just how the world works. That's why I try to. That's why I try and communicate all the time.
Yes, and communication is the key.
Oh,
yeah, communication is the key.
You're that. I'm just going to step back a little bit. I know we spoke a lot about it, but how you created, how you can put the idea of global media.
Oh yeah, I know that one. Okay, it's a long story short. It's a long story. I can make it short though. So when I was at uni, again, I'm sure I'll tell you about my education thing, in good time. So when I was at uni, coming towards the end of uni, you have to apply for jobs. So I looked on the job board at the university, and there was this job at this company. I never heard of. So it was a 3-day internet marketing job. I was like, what's the internet? I never heard a word about it. I went along. Again, being Nigerian, you learn how to write. Nigerians know how to write. Every Nigerian that you're going to see on LinkedIn will tell you that they're a content writer, because the way the school system works, you spend your life doing writing and comprehension. You have writing tests every week, effectively. And if you don't pass, those tests, there's punishment for that, for failing, and school's not free, so you have to pass these things. So we all learn how to write really well, and then I went along. So I went along to this interview, and I got the job. Suddenly, I was writing content for managers. But I said I was only 20. Suddenly I was young, super young. You to run a business, and the one thing that we don't want is kids telling us how to run a business. When you approach managers and business owners, they say to you, "What have you seen? Do you remember?" And unless you can say, "Yes, I remember. Yes, I was there. Yes, I've seen it," they don't take it seriously at all. So it was a big jump to convince managers that I knew what I was talking about. I spent a good 2.5 years working in this company, and suddenly I was from nobody to this number 2 in command. So I was like, I'll take that. So my life I've always been a manager. But so this struggle to train managers and teach managers, in the end, I guess it can beat you down. You can literally feel frustrated, because every time you turn up, like I say, they ask you, "Do you remember?" You're like, "No, I wasn't alive in the 70s. How would I remember? I wasn't there." I'm young, but I know what I'm talking about. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna go and work as a manager somewhere. So I left that. I went to go and run a charity. So then I was a manager there, worked my way all the way to the top. Was head of service, but meanwhile, I was still doing the internet side of things. My role was business development. So generating income, generating funding bids, and running events, and doing the online systems. 13 years later, 2008, when the crash happened, so I looked around and I thought, "Ooh, I've got 30 staff. How did that happen?" And when I got to the charity, there were 5 of us, and I had 30 staff underneath me. And when there's nothing worse than when you got staff all looking at you, because they got bills to pay, and you got to pay the bills. And you have to. Having staff is the hardest thing in the world, right? Anyway, so I looked around and I thought, "Oh, they all expect me to do." But in a charity, you can't do, because there's a process in place, right? You have to apply for grants, which takes months. You have to apply for contracts, again, which take months. So I was like, I'm not really feeling this. This is not really my passion. My passion is helping people. And this helping people here is just, I can't do what I want to do. So I looked around me and I thought, "Ooh, who can I help? Who needs help?" And the thing I found was that one of the kids I was working with, my job was, the charity was a kids charity, so it was working with vulnerable kids. So one of the kids I worked with, she created a business, I guess, call it that. This was around 2012 now, where literally she created brogues, those Oxford shoes type things. So posh shoes, which I thought only men wore. Turns out she created a women's version, and it was an amazing product. All handmade in the UK, top leather, top quality leather, everything. I was like, "This is amazing." Had a Union Jack on the sole. I was genuinely moved, because it was one of the kids I worked with, from when she was 9 to when she was 18 and 20, and inventing, actually creating things. But here's the problem: couldn't sell a single pair. Couldn't sell a single pair for love nor money. Couldn't sell a pair.
Wow.
I was devastated. Now I was heartbroken for her. I was like, something's wrong here. Again, you have to go back to when I was working in the internet company. I guess part of my job was dreaming about how the internet works. The internet's coming. We're talking 2000, so the internet had just started, right? So I'm writing projections. In 20 years, in 10 years' time, the phone's going to be a powerful system and do everything. I didn't know how that was going to happen. I just, it's what I could see was coming. It's what I read was coming, right? There's going to be internet that's going to do, you can do everything online. In 2000, you couldn't do anything online, let alone do everything online. We still had dial-up internet, where when you tried to log in, you had to, it went through like dialing, internet was slow. So I was literally dreaming of the internet of the future, and part of that was creating a fair marketplace, a place where everyone was equal. You and I could sell what we make because we could sell, because we made it. You know that idea. If you make it, they'll buy it. Now, if you build it, they will come. So I really believe if you built it, they will come. If you make that product, they will come and buy it. If it's great, they will buy it. But I was seeing them now. So I looked around and I thought, it hasn't happened. Something's wrong here. So so I took that as my mission. How can I help this girl to sell her shoes? With that came the, I knew what I was really buying into was what's going wrong with the internet? Why is it not working? How can I make it work? So that's where I got into Global.Media. I suddenly realized that the big boys are making money every day. Small businesses have no chance at all. It's not just from the girl I was talking about. Literally, if you looked around you, everyone, people on the high street couldn't sell online. Amazon, no. What people would do is quite simply, if I want a pair of shoes, I'll look online, right? I'll look online, hundreds of websites. I'll see loads of shoes, even those advertising shoes. And then I'll go to Amazon and buy the shoes anyway. I'll go to Clark's and buy the shoes anyway. Big brands always made the money. So that was so I thought, how do I change that? That's where I started really, and I've been on that journey ever since. The solution that I found was what everyone knows. You have to get seen by more people. Now, to get seen, you need essentially, you need to have a website, you need to have email marketing, and you need to do ads and social media. All right. Here comes problem number 2. All those things cost money, real money. And the small man can't afford any of them, let alone all of them. But without all of them, you can't sell online without having all those things. So my question became, how do I give them the service they need without paying for all that money, without paying for the ads? So that's where, and from there, you find out that so I found LinkedIn, and LinkedIn literally became a way that you can do something that you couldn't do anywhere else. Just actually talk to people. Facebook is great, but it's not really a business place. Twitter is what it is. LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, you can talk to people that you can literally search for someone. If you want an accountant, you can find an accountant in an area, in a role.
Professional, yes.
Yeah, and then connect with them and then talk to them. Simple as that. So I made a business out of doing that for years, for years. I made clients rich. I made myself half rich from doing that. Until LinkedIn said, I don't like you doing search and connect anymore. So I had to find a different way. So I fell back into email marketing primarily. And so again, because that's a way to at least guarantee if I send 2,000 emails a month per client, they will generate leads. The prospects will come. And then so what we'll do email, but then what else is out there? I guess is what I ask myself. This morning someone told me, it's something about I'm not a revolutionary cat, but I like to try new things. I like to see what's next, and that's so true. I think it described my business as a cat. I think a cat that likes to dare. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. It's true. I don't just do one thing. I will literally find the next best thing, and I would learn it hard, or I get partners who understand it really well, and then deliver that cost effectively to my clients.
Yeah.
Then obviously, then as things, the internet's always evolving, so I always want to evolve with it. That's where social audio and LinkedIn audio comes into it. Suddenly, I suddenly found this LinkedIn audio thing. Wow, talk to people in real time, amazing, from across the world. I never heard that before, so I jumped into that. I think now, I think I'm probably about on room number 6 to that as we speak right now, because I've got many more rooms I'm going to set up with people, because I really believe in I really believe in LinkedIn audio. I really, really do. And the weird thing is, here's the weird thing. When I started off my business, I said I want to make people famous. And I thought I want to put them on TV. That's my holy grail. I want to run a company that puts my clients on mainstream TV. Yeah, that's an advert or product placement, call it what you like, anything at all, right? And it's 7 years on, I'm achieving that more than ever. But the first few years, making people famous wasn't really, it didn't really happen, because it's so hard to get small businesses to make that sort of money. But today, social audio makes people famous almost instantly, almost.
Yeah.
Much like your live, your podcast, your live make people famous on a big scale.
Right.
The way we couldn't do it 5 years ago. Of course not.
Yeah.
So it's great to have the tools now that almost that we never had, and because now we can do what we dreamt of, what we actually aimed to do from the beginning. I think the point I'm trying to make is that, back to that thing, if you dare to dream and you work hard at it and make it happen, it will happen.
Yeah, it will happen.
Dare to dream, take action, it will come.
Yeah. I really like when you really explain and go in depth for us to understand the strength, the persistence, the collaboration. It takes all of that for us to really succeed. And as you said, dare to dream, dare to do it. It's the action. You look for ways whereby you can market, and you dive deep into it. That is what really helped you to succeed. And it's really nice to see that someone could bring that to the table for us this morning, to help us, all the entrepreneurs, to help us to understand that it called for the strength, bringing the strength from within. It called for the collaboration. It called for you to have that persistence. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. So thank you for really explaining that to us. What are the marketing principles to grow one's business?
I talk to people. I listen to a lot of people. Amazingly, the answer is the same, in marketing and everywhere else. It starts in your mindset. It's all about mindset. It really is.
Yes.
Everything is it's all in our mind. And that's such a strange thing to say. The technical part is useful, because then you can do more when you know more. But it starts in your mind. If you're with the right mindset, I guess you set the goals that will give you joy. This is what life's all about, right? A lot of people don't want to specify what their real goals are. I'm all about saying, dare to dream, dare to do. It really is. Dare to dream. You can be anything. So don't play small. Sit down and work out for yourself. What do I really want to do? What's the life I want to live? What gives me joy? Dare to state it and then go for it. That's the essence of everything.
And
You
it
know,
really does.
because like if you're living aiming for your true goal, you know what will give you true joy, that transforms your life already.
Mhm.
Suddenly, every day is worth living because because you can see the point of it. But if you never ever specify what you really want to do, then you never get what you really want. So
That's
joy will
true.
never come your way. Greatness will never come your way.
Mhm.
So whereas if you dare to genuinely dream and decide to work towards it, greatness and joy, in abundance will come to you in ways that you never dreamt of.
All those words.
I use the word greatness because it really is. It's about almost say if I'm trying to change the world for everyone, but for yourself primarily. The world only
Right.
change and you care only when it really resonates with your soul. So now a lot of
True.
people think that we should be trying to help others first, and that's not. No, I believe that not really. I believe in helping myself, helping my family, and then helping others at the same time. We can all work together.
Yes.
I can't just
Yes.
help people and then forget about me. You know,
Mhm.
greatness will make you emotionally and financially wealthy. The opposite is not to have any of those things. In which case, I don't know. You can't. It's hard to live in joy. When you are
Right.
not aiming for your ultimate goal.
True. True.
So if you start a business, Karen, aiming for your goal, then you're going to design a service that really helps people. And while you're helping people, you're also making yourself super happy. Okay, so whilst making yourself super happy, you know, then you realize you must learn as you go.
Right. Exactly.
That journey of developing yourself is so important, because if you're learning every day, you can see your progression. You
Of
can see
course.
your route towards your destination. Again, that brings a joy and a reason to be grateful.
Yes.
I'm so happy I'm working towards my goal. I'm so happy I'm a step nearer. You know,
Yes. Yes.
to not if you can't say those words, then it's hard to be genuinely happy.
True. That's
True.
exactly true.
If you if you if
Exactly
you,
true.
if you can say those words, then it's much easier to then say, okay, what do I need to do?
Mhm.
What do I need to reach more people?
Right.
Because there's no point in me being able to help people and then not doing anything for them to know I exist.
Right. Exactly.
Some people think that marketing is all about money. It's not really about money. It's about your vision.
Yes.
If you have
That's
that
true.
vision, things
Yeah.
say like in the mindset world, and as you two well know, you can attract the things you want to you. There's a reason why we're here today.
Right.
There's a reason why people are where they are.
Mhm.
If you're intentional about what you're trying to achieve, if you're intentional about helping people, and you're willing to do what it takes, then you will find a way to reach more people. You know, Sometimes that's just doing normal social media, but that doesn't really work these days.
Right. It's
You
bigger
know,
than.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. That's exactly. I think that's why against us three are here. You
True.
have to think of something different to reach more people.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
So lives, and I guess the lives and the audio, they're virtually free. I
Mhm.
mean, I know you have to pay for a tool for your lives, but essentially, any which way that you can reach more people and get them to understand your personality, that your real intentions, your
Mhm.
true self,
Right.
that's the way to market these days.
It is. It is.
The more this is why I mentioned making people famous. We can all
Yes.
be famous these days. We can all be famous. Fame is no longer just about TV anymore. There's so many different ways that we can reach more
Yeah.
people.
Different mediums,
Now,
yes.
I'm looking at Kelly, in the audience. Now, Kelly's just written a book,
Yeah.
about right. With your guest a couple of weeks ago. Again, he's a legend. He really admires. He's a genuine legend.
Yeah.
He really he's used his experiences,
Yes.
his hardships to
Mm-hmm.
try and help other people.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he hasn't just done it by just sitting around and he creates a website and sit back. No, he's written a book. Now it's on a mission to get everyone to know. And he's doing everything that he can think of. Now, social audio, lives, guest interviews. There's many more ways. I'm sure he'll get on TV sooner or later. I mean that sincerely.
Right, right, right.
And he's doing everything else in between as well.
Yeah.
That's what marketing really is these days.
Right.
There's no hard and fast.
It is. And that comes to another question, but I think you already answered it, that how marketing has changed over the years. And I think that's what you try to you explain to us there, how marketing has really changed over the years.
Yeah, no, it's changed. It's changed drastically. Like I say, it's changed in the sense that the promise hasn't happened. The promise of the fairer, more democratic or more democratized internet hasn't happened. Again, it's weird that the problem I sought to solve in 2015 is bigger now, and it's the same problem. Luckily there's more answers now, so there's a few more tools.
Right.
So, in case anyone's wondering what my problem with the internet is, it's simply this. They say to us, right, create a website. If you create a website, they will come to your website because you're going to get on the first page of Google, and they will come, right? So let's start with that. Yeah, in 2000, I think that when I started on the internet, there was 5,000 websites in the UK, 5,000 in the UK altogether, right? So we all knew each other. Genuinely, we all knew because we're all in different, in different categories, in different niches, right? So you knew who was in training, you knew who was in sports, you knew who was in management. Are you with me? In 2023, how many websites are there? Billions.
Ooh,
Billions.
millions.
Right.
Yeah.
How many of us can get on Google's first page? 4 if you're lucky, 5 at most, unless you pay for ads. It's a strange thing.
Right.
So the internet was never going to work, was it? The rest, how are you going to show 5 billion websites or 1 billion websites on a page? You can't. Physically impossible. Right? So now that's a problem. That's a problem that I've identified from the beginning, which is just getting worse and worse. Move that onto social media. They said to her, if you have, if you want to sell, just go on social media and just post. Just post. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it sounds good. So a lot of people post, except when you post, again, there's half the world is on social media. Half the world's on social media. That's 4 billion people on social media. 4 billion people, right? How many posts can you see at once on your feeds? One, right? How are you gonna? How are we meant to see your post? How is that meant to work? It's so obvious to me. It really, because there's too many people. The way they've created the system, it just can't show everyone at once. Even if we scroll, how many people can you see? On Instagram, I tried doing it. Literally, when I started off, I was like, okay, everyone I connect with, I will engage with them. When you've got one follower on Instagram, one connection, one follower, right? You can like their posts every day. I'll be done with it. When you've got 10 connections on LinkedIn, you can like their posts when you see them. I made sure I talked to all my connections on LinkedIn at the beginning. When you got 100 connections on LinkedIn, you're struggling. When you got 1,000, you're screwed. Literally, it's impossible. When you get 10,000, once you any more than 1,000, give up the game because you can't see any of them, let alone all of them. This is the problem with the internet. This is why I preach social audio today, because at least it bypasses all those algorithm problems. It puts you in front of the person you're talking to directly.
Right.
Right.
It gives you that reach, and it gives you a two-way conversation in a way many other tools don't. Again, the lives are good. At least you can see us. But again, and that's just us talking, and there's no machine between what we say
Right.
and people
Right.
listening to us.
Right.
Right. Right.
What's that involving algorithms? Then you have a problem.
Right. Is that how you say that we would stand out? Is that what you would say?
Yeah, well, I guess no stand out. It's become a different issue today, especially with AI. With AI behind us or around us, in front of us. I know what I'm trying to say. It's everywhere. AI is it's going to do us in the end. And the only way that we can sort of accommodate AI, I would say we should be using AI, not doing AI. There's a difference there. If you do AI, essentially what you do, enter a question into an AI machine and say, right, chuck me some words about this blog. AI writes it and then you post it.
Yeah.
You might up and tailor it if you want, but at least that's AI has done the work for you. That's doing AI, right? When you use AI, essentially AI writes the blog for you and then you edit the hell out of it.
Right.
Because now you have to put your spin on it. Because
Yes.
AI is very, very bland. It's factual. Again, back to my point earlier about managers, they want to know what you've been through. Now, people want to learn from your experiences. They learn
Right.
from
Exactly.
the nuances that you give the article. They learn from the real life bits that you actually add to it, not just the facts. That's what adds color and useful information to anything. But to add that to AI content, so you have to edit the life out of it. You might as well do it. You might as well do it from start, really. So now the question we're asking ourselves is, how do I sound like me, not like, and then the AI can't copy me?
Right. Right.
That's by being authentic. That's by
Yeah.
putting your
Yes.
views out there. And I might say is by doing more videos and more whatever show your personality. And it's more you that you want to get across. Because AI can't, nothing can copy who you are.
True.
True.
True. True.
And
True.
I see people these days, the way they stand out is by they jumble things up in the way AI won't do. They make mistakes deliberately because only human can do that. Like a comedian who tells a joke when they ask a question, they give you the wrong answer. But they actually know the answer. It's almost like you have to be double clever to stand out. That makes
Right. Right.
it's a weird
Right.
thing. There's no easy answer, but essentially be yourself. Try and get people to really understand you and to actually hear you. The more you can do that, then the more people will resonate with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
Yes.
beautifully said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is having a positive attitude a strength when you're doing marketing?
I like that. Oh, you see, I love that. No, I do love that question. A lot of people I love the question because marketers are ridiculously optimistic, ridiculously, way more than anyone else you ever meet. The simple reason is this: our days are spent with rejection 99% of the time. Like I explained right from the beginning, to get that one customer is so hard because and it's because people are doing what they do. They've already got suppliers, they've already got everything they want. So to buy from you means they have to stop what they're doing and attend to you and your offer.
Right.
And in reality, if you try, go outside and try and shout to everyone, say, "Oh, I'm selling this." Everyone ignores you. They all ignore you. If you're lucky, someone might even swear at you and say, "Go away, I'm not interested." That's what marketers have to deal with, right? So we have to learn to we cope with that and come back tomorrow and do it all over again. We don't. You can't let the people's negativity or no,
True.
yes, failure knock you down. You just can't.
True. True.
You have to believe in what you're doing, believe in yourself,
Right.
and then
Right.
come back and do it again and again and again.
Again. Yes.
Marketing is so repetitive. People miss that bit. A lot of success in marketing comes from you do something, you find it works, and then you do it again and again and again. And, so I employ people, right? When I employ people, I say to them, "Why don't you do marketing?" They come out with the usual. Oh, I want to do exciting, campaigns. You're like, sorry about that. It's not going to happen, because what we do is just, it's repetition.
Right.
Cut and paste. Design posts. Upload things. Are you with me? You just, you do the same thing except in huge numbers, because that's what we do for a living. That's why we have clients. Clients haven't got time for all that sort of stuff. But we have to genuinely believe in ourselves, in our clients, and in everything we're doing. Your mindset is obviously, your positive mindset is very important. Also, it's vital. If you don't believe in any, if you don't believe that you can do it, number one, you fail. You failed already.
Sure.
If you don't believe your clients can deliver, you failed already before you even start. If your client doesn't believe that they can do it either, you've lost. If your client doubts their solution, who's going to believe them? Who's going to believe you? No one. You have to have this resolute positivity that is ridiculously inflated, but it's part of life. I can't describe. All I can think of is trying to think of a racing driver, like a Formula One driver. They drive very fast, but they don't see the speed they're going at, whereas we do. And when you say to them, you're risking your life, don't you? They'll be like, really? No, not really. I'm just driving my car. So in markets, we do what we do, knowing that we're gonna face many hurdles, but we're gonna come back tomorrow and do it all over again, and again, and again, and again, and again. It's you have to believe massively in everything. So again, I think one of the things you said right at the beginning, both of you, was, I think, be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Life is not always about winning. It really isn't. Life is about learning from the things that don't go so well. In marketing, it's about asking yourself, right? So I tried that. What's the result? Either you win or you learn. Which one is it? If you sold, do it again. If you didn't sell, what can you learn? What can you change?
Right.
And then you do more, and then you try that tomorrow, and then you do more of it. That's a game that's what we're here to help people with. So now the one thing that I'll say is that I don't tend to like working with big companies, because there's too many minds. There's too many minds involved. That saying, too many cooks spoils the broth.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Yes.
I'm a big
Yes.
believer of that. I'd rather work with you, the business owner, who has the ability to change a business if necessary, than with a panel of 12 people in the big company who don't really care. I'd rather work with you who believes in your products and your services than a group of people where one or two that are not so sure or couldn't really care less. Because the universe knows. Their negativity will come and affect all of us, and people will go, "Why didn't that work?" I need clients who are, they're driven, they're passionate, they're authentic, and they believe in themselves, they believe in us, they believe in the process, they believe in everything we're trying to do, and they care about the customers more than anything else. You can't get that in a committee as much as you can by working with owners. That's why I spend my life talking to owners and trying to get the small businesses to actually grow. Yeah, it's a joy. It's a joy that
It is a joy. It is a joy. It is a joy.
Yeah.
And I love some of the words that you talk about. Which you talk about abundance. You talk about the universe. You talk about mindset, and those are really key things that as an individual, as an entrepreneur, small businesses or whatever, really have to be a part of. It has to be within you. That's how you can achieve that joy that you're talking about.
Truly, truly. I would go. I would also add to what you mentioned earlier, Joan. Forgive yourself. Again, I don't want to see your Karen. I'm sure you both did. You know, give yourself grace.
Yes.
You can't live a life of joy. You can't achieve anything. You can't live any sort of life at all, really, if all you do is
True.
blame yourself.
True.
Like I say, I am. I'm lucky. But again, you make your own luck. I'm lucky I can live the life I want. And you
You
know
are.
what? If I don't like you, I would just say no, bye. I mean I would just say bye. Take your money, it's fine. I'll find someone else because there's always, like I say, next one's on their way anyway. So if you go, it's okay. I don't need negativity.
Absolutely.
I don't need people blaming me for stuff.
Right.
Absolutely.
I don't blame myself. I don't blame myself. I guess there's times when I can ask myself, what can I learn from the experience? But literally, what? Yeah, I mean, well, you're dead right. You have to learn from things that don't go well. And you know what? Again, so many things in our lives. If you have the right mindset,
Yes.
instinct becomes your best friend.
It does become that.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Seriously, you have to. And a lot of people don't trust their instinct. I trust my instinct.
True.
If
True.
I'm not somewhere on a certain day, a certain time where I should be, there's a reason. There's a reason why I'm not.
We
You know,
believe
Absolutely.
in that. We believe in that.
Absolutely.
right? So
Believe
even if it's the fact that I didn't wake up, there's a reason why I didn't wake up. Maybe I didn't. You can say I didn't go to sleep on time. Okay, maybe so. But again, there's a reason why that happened. Are you with me? There's a greater power than me that knew I wasn't meant to be there. Really, does that make sense? I hope that
Oh
makes
my
sense.
God.
Oh
That's
my,
how we
you are
live.
speaking exactly what we believe in because we believe in that extension of us, that source of
Mm,
us, that bigger thing, whatever you want to name it,
mm,
outside of us that assists us, that guide us, that put that intuition in, and so that we can, whatever happens, we're guided, we led. We still believe in that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, we tend to blame ourselves a lot of times, like if we miss a meeting or if we didn't turn up on time, we blame ourselves a lot of time. Or if we are stuck in traffic, we tend to get very anxious about it. But we need to enjoy that present moment
yes. Yes.
because where you are, that's where you're supposed to
Where
be
you
at
need
that
to be
moment.
at that time.
That's
Yes.
how life works.
We do.
Yeah.
And we don't need to beat up ourselves if we're not on time for that meeting. It's okay. It's quite okay. It's quite okay. We just need to continue to show the love and compassion to
Yeah.
this being, to this being. We really need to show that love and compassion.
And someone is saying radiant divine energy. Yes.
Mm,
Yes. So
it's,
true.
it's
Because
true.
we don't
So
even
true.
know what we are prevented from. We don't
Mm,
even know.
Right.
We don't
And,
even know.
and when we can live from that space, there is so much clarity because we know we are in tune with something else higher than ourselves that is really guiding us and
mm,
helping us to really journey through life. I just also want to talk about something that you spoke of earlier in the business. And I like what you said. I know Karen also like that. Is that you said when your customer come, you treat them well, you take good care of them. And when they leave, because leaving part and letting go is always a problem. But you gracefully and cheerfully let them go without don't worry about it. And that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful because that is just like with business, like with relationship, we can take it over there. You
mm.
have to be able to understand to let that part go. And
Yes.
sometimes it's very difficult because we have
Yeah.
Yeah.
invested so much into whatever it is that we don't want to let it go because
Mm,
but you have a clarity and an understanding That is part of it. This is part of it, divine, universe, whatever. You understand part of it because you understand that someone else is coming. And
Yeah.
that would be the thanks for explaining that.
No. And I said, for me, part of it is I know I've tried my best. Are you with me? I know I've given my all. If it's not meant to be between us, okay. I gave, sometimes I didn't try. Some because I didn't treat you differently to all the others. I gave it my all, and if you're not happy with that, oh well, so be it. And I deep down in my heart, I know I did my
Yeah,
best, and
of
I
course.
couldn't do anything differently. See, but then that's unless I got customers, like I say, who don't believe, who are not doing, the ones who are just talking, the ones who are inauthentic.
Hmm.
So we'll get them, we'll do. And I think that. So when the ones who are not the right customers for me come along,
Hmm.
I'll still work it out, and then it's when can they go? When can I? It sounds like when can I get rid of them? It's probably true. It really is. It's I celebrate when the customer comes. I celebrate when they go to.
Yes.
The ones
Yes.
that you genuinely. There's some customers that give you genuine joy.
Yes,
I'm sure, like you, there's some guests that give you
Yes.
genuine happiness, and
yes,
for them, they're priceless. There's others who give you, more problems than they're worth, and they're not worth it ever at all. No matter what they think they're giving you, And like I say, because the next customer is always around the corner, I don't stress too much. I don't stress too much about them. But then all this comes down to what we started off with. If you're intentional about what you're doing,
right,
if you're
right.
doing what gives you genuine happiness, if you have your clear goals and you know that you're on your path towards your goals,
Yes,
then you will learn, and then you will take the steps you need to take. If a customer goes, of course you ask yourself, could that have gone differently? Sometimes you say, yeah, it could have. Okay, hands up, it's me. I can do this better.
hmm,
Most of the time, you find that it's not about you. It's nothing to do with you.
true.
True.
It's on them. So
True.
let them deal with it. Move on, but do what you have to do for yourself. You
True.
know, it's
True.
work out. Don't say. I used to dwell over it for ages. Customer goes, I'll be deeply upset, and I've learned. You know what? It's not on me. It's on them. You know.
That's,
So
yeah,
it literally is just like it's like a switch thing.
True.
So bye on to the next. I guess I might add that. Obviously you mix that with taking consistent action.
mhm,
You know, because I know where I'm trying to go as a business, and I know as a business, I must keep marketing, for example, right? I can't just deliver. A lot of people make a mistake that when they get customers, then they relax about the next one. Whereas I'm a
constant,
marketer, so I have to do my
yeah,
own marketing. And if you keep filling the funnel, then they will keep coming through.
mhm,
True.
If you stop doing the right thing for yourself,
Right.
stop doing the right thing towards your goal, then don't be surprised when the funnel stops delivering.
True.
If you keep taking consistent action and being persistent. Consistency obviously is doing the right thing. Persistence is doing the right thing for a long time.
right,
I accept. Things will come to me when I'm ready. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I truly believe that on day one I wanted this client that would pay me loads of money. If they had done, I'd probably be bankrupt by now because I couldn't deliver.
mhm,
As I've improved, the clients have got bigger. As
Absolutely.
I've said to myself, okay, I want this level of clients now. Strangely, those level of clients will come along. But I'm also well aware when I used to say to myself, I don't really want that. I don't really. Again, and it's not always something you say out, but it's like when you think it, when you can't give your mind yes or no at the same time. There's no
Mm-hmm.
maybe in mindsets. There really is. It's full faith, or you don't want it. In which case, don't think about it. Are you with me? So like, it has to be full faith if what you really want.
That's so
You
true.
know, be dare to dream and then do everything to get there. Everything, you know, and that comes with, you know, being authentic and just putting everything into it. You know, if you don't want it, don't think I don't want it. Just don't think about it at all. You know, let it be. That's not, you know, that's not your problem. You know.
That's so true.
Absolutely right. And you find that some customers is not a right fit, and it's quite okay. It's quite okay. There's no need to beat up yourself, and as Eny rightfully said, you just continue to do what you do best.
Yeah.
You continue to do, and the next one is walking through the door. You always, and I like the mindset that you share with us today, is that you always have that mindset that the next customer is on its way to me. And that's the perfect mindset to have when you're doing business. Perfect.
Like I say, it's true. You know, it's a reality. You know, I always use the words. You know, it's like rain follows sun, or sun follows rain, day follows night. It really is. If you do the work, then everything will fall into place one after the other. A lot of people call it luck. You know, again, back to our mindset conversation. In that, why can't we be lucky? But we can. We are, because we have this way of thinking.
Yes.
You know, which doesn't limit us.
Right.
You know, and that's the same luck. Anyone can have that luck. Anyone. You see, now, here's one thing I want to raise with you. I know we're over a time, but you tell me to shut up when you're ready. Anyway, see, here's one thing I want to say to you. You know, I'm always concerned about the people who have, I guess, what I call real humongous problems. You know, because, you know, as we talk about positivity, mindset, and being authentic, you know, there was someone who says, "Oh, but my child's died," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I can't really flip that. And I can't. That's big. I got kids. You know, we got. I'm saying that's big. That's humongous, right? You know, can you just flip it? You know, flip your thinking on that. You know, so sometimes I feel bad, and I always think, you know, am I really being honest? Am I really being true? But you know what? Of course we are. We're being deadly honest. We are being as honest as can be.
Right.
What's the solution? So disasters happen. What are you going to do? Lay down and wallow in disaster? No. Find a way to find your joy, and then do something to move on, because you have to, for your sake, for everyone's sake.
Yeah.
Well, you can't know, because you can't stay in that negative place.
No.
Forever. You know, it doesn't help you. It doesn't help anyone.
True.
You know, so, you know, like I say, you know, that's how I sort of get over my anxiety of giving people just words. You know, so I'm genuinely honest when I say you have to learn to forgive yourself, learn and move on.
Right.
You know, you just have to, because, you know, to do anything different is costing you time and your mental health.
True.
Yeah. You know, again, I mean, a similar argument. If you've got a mental health issue, resolve it. Take action, for God's sake. Take action. Resolve your issues.
True.
And get back to your path of what makes you happy.
That's so true.
Absolutely.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. 102%.
Yeah. Absolutely true what you just said there. And if you are an entrepreneur and you're dealing with clients, you know, when you show up, serve them well. When you show up, you serve them well. And don't look and feeling as though, oh, I really want this person to be a client. I really want this person to be a customer. You know, if once you serve them well, even they don't become your client or your customer, because of you serve them well, you be your authentic self when you serve them. Even if they don't become a customer for you, they will tell someone else about you.
Right. They can become your advocate.
100%. And you know what? you close a lot more deals from referrals than from any other way.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, so
Absolutely.
if you get that something just being authentic, being your genuine self, and being caring about your customers.
Yes.
You know, it's so important. Like you
It
can
is. It
you can,
certainly is.
you can build a life out of that. You really can. You know,
Yes.
and a lot of people build lives out of it. No, you don't need 1,000 customers. You really don't need 100 customers who come back to you whenever they need what you do. It's more than enough to keep any business going. It really
Totally
is.
agree
Yeah.
with you, Annie. Totally agree
Yes.
with you.
Yeah. I've
You know,
got
so,
one
like,
question before we leave.
go on, please, feel free.
If you could give our listeners just one piece of advice that you consider to be most important in gaining success in the personal and professional lives, what that one thing, Eny?
Ooh, damn. Only one?
Just give us one, or
Only
or you know what,
one?
you could give us two.
Oh, yeah, I got two. Okay, okay, two makes life a bit easier. Because, I suppose the first one would be, be intentional.
Right.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
intentional. Dare to dream and
Mm-hmm.
say it out. Tell yourself. A lot of us want things or we dream of things,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll never actually articulate it. You know, So I can use it in so many different ways. So when I was younger, I had this crazy ambition, this crazy dream to own a street of houses, property, right? A whole street. It's like I wanted a whole street because I thought that'd be amazing, and I said so. It's like I don't know when you're a kid growing up in Nigeria, you have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that. I had no idea what that meant at all. So
Right.
when I came to UK and suddenly found that being a black kid is a bit different to being a white kid, basically. And so you suddenly realize that there are some hurdles you have to get over to get to what you want. And those houses things they cost money, real money, real money. So again, I felt like I was further away, but roll on to where we are now. And I got enough properties for what I want, and I haven't quite got a whole street, I assure you, but I'm saying I got enough to be, to be happy with myself, and to say to you, if I had never set myself that goal, I probably wouldn't. I
Yes.
probably wouldn't have
Yes.
any of
Yes.
them. We'll find a way. Just by saying it, by being intentional about it,
Yes.
you
Yes.
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 attract things to you that make things possible.
Totally
Absolutely.
agree.
You
Totally
know,
agree.
it's part of that whole thing of learning. You have to learn as well. Give yourself a chance to take up opportunities that come your way. It's rare that on day one, when you set your intentions or your goal, you know how you're going to get there. You never do.
True.
If you do, I learned from Donna Martin, my mindset coach, that if you know how you're
Yes,
going to
she's
get there,
amazing.
truly, and I said, if you know how you're going to get there, it's not a good goal. You want
Yes.
something that truly, one will make your soul sing, and also will
Right.
make you have to learn on the way there. Become a different.
Yes.
To get there, you have to be a different person to who you are today.
True.
Absolutely.
Everything starts with that, right? No, so
Mm-hmm.
the second thing I will say for sure is, work on your mindset.
Right.
Mindset doesn't happen by accident.
Yes.
Again, three of us know this quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Work on your mindset. To me, that means, again, you two have said it in different ways. Write down your goals. Write down. I think Karen said journaling, right? I write my goals
Yes.
every day. I write my goals
Yeah.
100 times every day. You have to 100. Like, I can show you the book if you want to see it. But literally, I write my goals down. I visualize my goals. I
Yes.
work. I work on the affirmations of why I deserve to achieve those great things and live this
Yes.
life of joy that I live. It's all part of the picture, and it's all. These are the things that give you the resources to achieve that goal, that intentional goal that you set yourself.
So
You
agree
have
with
to,
you.
you have to work on the mindset. It doesn't happen by chance.
Right. True.
Couldn't
You know,
agree with
That
you more.
mindset is so important. That
Couldn't agree
mindset
with you
is
more.
absolutely,
You're
that's
speaking
key.
our language.
The
Because
mindset is
like,
the key.
so what I find that so amazing is that it sounds so simple.
Right.
I've spoken to millionaires who built £1 million businesses. There's one that comes to my room regularly. These days. I met him on LinkedIn. I'm like, right. So I spoke to him. I'm like, all right, how did you manage to go from zero to doing £1 million contracts in less than 3 years? You know what he said? Mindset and setting that goal. Once everything, everything comes back to the same thing. It's not just me saying, it's not just you saying. Those who've been there, those who we call lucky, have done exactly this. They've set the goal, they've gone for it. And it's reality.
Listeners, if one thing you could take away today is what Eny just said.
Yes. Yes.
Those words he just said, that is the key to the whole equation.
Try it. Give it a
It's
shot.
the mindset. It's the
Give it a
mindset.
shot.
Our mindset. Our mindset is so important for our lives. It's our mindset.
Yeah.
Because whatever you think, that is what you're going to try.
Yeah. That's how it shifts your vibration. It moves your frequency and every single thing.
Yeah, it is so important. Eny, you're absolutely amazing.
You're amazing. You are amazing.
I was thinking we can't talk for an hour, but again, you find that I can't talk for an hour.
Hey, you are amazing. You are truly amazing.
You're too kind. I mean that sincerely. I appreciate both of you. I really do. And every time you come to my room, and I've been on your show. It's made my months. Really, I'll take that.
Thank you.
I'm overjoyed. I mean that. I really mean that.
Thank you. And thank you for taking the time to sit with us today and really helping the audience to really understand marketing. And the foundation is the mindset.
It really is. It really is.
The foundation is the mindset, and to be intentional what you're doing. Be intentional what you're doing, and dare to dream and dare to do. That's the action.
Yeah.
So put that down in your notes, write it down in your journal, look at it, build on that, and then you will be able to see the fruits of your labor. We all have that greatness within ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's time that we look within, change those thoughts, rewire the brain, set your intentions, get your goals up, see exactly where you're heading, align yourself with your goals, and that's the mindset. You got to align yourself with your goals and start putting it into action. Whatever the goals are, start the action part. Don't just sit there with the goals and expect it to come to you. You got to start putting in the work. You got to start doing the action part for it to materialize and start coming towards you, because that is how it works.
And to add another layer, sorry.
Go ahead, Joan.
No, I was going to say to add another layer, and that all of that you said as well as Eny, and to reinforce all of that, the key thing, you got to believe it.
Truly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to believe.
So whether you believe in religion or faith, or whether you got faith in religion or the higher powers or something else, you have to believe. You have to believe in your capacity to do and your potential to be anything you want to be, because you can. Every single person who's done anything in this world were like you and me one day. They really were.
Yes.
Every single person. I think when I realized, I thought, okay, to do anything else would just be cheating myself and cheating the world. I say I'm quite shy, really, but I realized I have to talk to get to influence people, if you want to call it that. Because everyone else who's ever done anything, they've just set their goal one day and they've gone for it. And look where they are now. Everything around us
Yes.
You know, and so now, and you'd be amazed that the things that give me joy are probably the smallest things in life. You know, I suppose I make you laugh. I leave you with one thing that really does bring me joy. And whoever invented the bread knife, I would love to meet that person. No, really, it sounds so simple, right? But
Yes.
think of the world without a bread knife.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
simple solution, but it's a solution that works brilliantly. It's. I wish I'd invented it myself. You know,
Yes.
I use that because that just shows it's not. You haven't got to create the biggest things. You know, the most
Yes.
all singing, all dancing. It's about solving
Yes.
people's problems. If you solve people's problems, you
Yes.
will make money more than you can ever dream of.
True. True.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree with you, Mark.
Yeah.
You know,
And I always tell people one thing is that no idea that you have is ever stupid.
I agree.
No.
No idea that you ever have is ever stupid.
I
Because
agree.
you have that idea, it could help someone else.
Hmm.
You having that idea, you could bring something fresh to the world.
We've seen it happen
So
over and
always
over.
follow your dreams. Always follow your dreams. Always. Always follow your dreams.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
I
We could
agree.
go on for hours, Eny.
We
We
could.
have to have you back. We have to
Hey,
have you
Thank
back.
you so
you know,
much.
please, now, please, I happily come back. Happily, I'm more than happily come back. I mean, I would happily come back.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're truly amazing.
You're
And
too
you have
kind.
really
If
empowered us.
I blush red, don't blame me. No, don't blame me.
And, and to the audience, we just want to thank you so much for taking the time and sitting with us this morning. And I hope that you take away some tools or some keys this morning that could help you on your journey, both in your personal life and in your professional life.
Yeah.
So continue to walk with grace. Continue to know that you are enough. Continue to know that you have support system that you could go to and you could ask questions. If you feel as though you cannot do it on your own, there is a support system.
Yeah.
And don't let fear
Hinder
hold you
you.
back.
Yeah.
Don't let fear hold you back. Always know that there is someone out there who can help you. Just
Yeah.
reach out and talk, and someone will help you on your journey. Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate you coming on the show and joining us this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you once again.
And I want to
And
thank
look forward to
you.
see you on Friday. On Friday, we have another show on Friday. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you will never miss one of these juicy episodes.
Right.
Thank you guys once again. Joan?
And I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Karen, for
Hmm.
holding the space down when it was necessary for me to take the time for myself. So I love you as a sister. I appreciate you, and I thank you for holding that space so that I can get what I need at that point in time. So thank you. Love you.
Love you too. Love you too, my sister. Love you so much. Love you so much. And
No,
thank you, Tom.
you're a great team, by the way. You know, I'll say
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you, Eny. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
And Tom, thank you so much for being behind the scenes and helping us with the show. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and a fabulous week. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, audience. I
Thank
mean
you.
that sincerely. Thanks,
Yeah.
ladies. Thank you so much. You take
Thank
care.
you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.